Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the Real Bros podcast. I am your host, Logan Thomas, and with me, as always, is my most excellent co-host,
Caden Green.
and together we are
The Real Bros.
Caden, how are we doing today? About ready to finish off another franchise. How's it feel?
It feels good. We're making progress. And I'm really excited for our next series, which we'll get into.
In approximately T-minus 2 hours.
Yeah, something like that.
We are covering Jurassic World Rebirth today.
Yep.
And that is the 7th and quote-unquote final film
movie
in the franchise. There has not been another one greenlit at the point of recording this.
I think it's so funny. They called it Rebirth, and it's probably the movie that killed the series.
I mean, irony kills all, I guess.
Hell.
This was a first-time watch for you.
Yes. Technically.
This isn't I wouldn't say it's a good movie, but I wouldn't say it's a bad movie either. I have my issues with it.
I have my issues with it.
My issue is there are two movies in play here, and they are fighting for control of the other.
And I'm just going to be honest. One movie is a lot more interesting than the other.
When they announced this movie, they said it was going to have a darker, more horror-based tone. Sold. Like, come on. That's what we've been waiting on since, like, the second movie. Like, come on.
Oh, absolutely.
And on the other side, Science Spec Ops.
Not a bad.
No, it fits the genre of what we've gotten in previous films, but they need to get past the whole DNA thing.
Yeah.
It's been beaten to death in this franchise. I would say the only way this franchise could keep going is if they explore different aspects of the Jurassic world. But with the story they brought to the table here, they put themselves in a corner and there's almost no way back from it.
Right.
And so, like, there is literally, like, nothing else they could probably do with the franchise. Not realistically, anyways. But, like, there's still the animated Netflix series you can watch or whatever to kind of get that Jurassic vibe. But, yeah, this movie puts a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
And not to the credit of the director or anything, but it's just like they're just two different things trying to take over, man. That was not a dinosaur. That was Caden's mic arm that he's trying to use as a dinosaur, apparently.
No, I'm trying to adjust it. My bad.
Also, returning segment. Today will be another Real Bros Ranked.
Yeah.
But before we get into anything else, a few weeks ago, we released an episode about the Temple of Doom. And Caden and I had a little tangent about Tang.
A tangent, if you would.
A tangent.
No.
We received some word that it was funny, apparently.
Somehow.
But today we're going to be finishing out that story arc of our lives, and Caden will be trying Tang for the first time on the show. I have a cup of it here with me as well. I've had it before. When me and my wife went to go buy this,
this cup is so full.
This was the minimum you can make with Tang.
Oh.
We asked the guy where we could find it. The guy who was stocking the shelves is like, dude, what is Tang? So I'm not sure how fresh this container is. It should be fine. Here's to season 2. Cheers, bro.
Yeah.
Tangalicious.
No. You know what would have made this better?
What?
Not melted ice cubes in it.
I was just doing what Carly asked me to do for this. It definitely is watered down, but it's not bad flavor.
Not bad. Not something I could see myself drinking on the regular, though.
But like the thing is, this is actually really good for you. They put like a buttload of vitamin D in Tang.
Oh, yeah. So when you want to game for 36 hours straight and don't feel like going outside.
Cheers.
It's not bad. Like I said, though, I wouldn't.
I would definitely say for me, I'd probably have to put it in like maybe like a bottle of Perrier or something.
I don't know what that is.
Fizzy water.
Oh, no.
Just to kind of like give it a little bit of a texture, because like it's not pulpy like orange juice is.
I would hope not. It's powder.
But it just tastes like orange water.
Yeah.
But like I also really like fizzy drinks, so you know it's whatever. All right. Now that Caden has chugged his entire glass, so he can be done with it for the rest of the show. On our ranking
you didn't mix that very well.
I tried, bro. Given the time restraints I was on, I tried my best. Out of 1 to 5, how would you rate Tang?
About a 3.5.
Yeah, solid. And honestly, it's probably what I'm going to be stuck drinking for the next month and a half in the mornings.
Okay, so we made a little bit of a cut there. I'm bumping my score on Tang down a little bit.
You want some more?
No. For about 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes is how long that jump cut was. And it just hurt my stomach so bad.
So here's the thing. For me, burping is very easy. For just anything, I also have a 2 liter of Starry right here. That's definitely helping the process for me. But yeah, it definitely sits in your stomach.
It felt like I just somehow managed to eat an entire cement block. So I'm gonna have to bump my score down by about 2, so it's gonna go down to 1.5.
I love how before we came back, you were like, it's going to be a 2.5. Now it's just a solid 1.5.
Yeah. I'm never drinking Tang again.
Start checking your cups, big boy.
No.
Come over for a birthday party or something.
I don't have any room in my cupboard, so good luck.
Great, now I have to find a new partner because he's going to die of Tang overdose.
It wasn't even tangy either.
Was it Tongy?
No.
Mm.
It was just orange. Not even like the fruit. Just like...
Tasted like the color orange.
Yes. Like, if you were talking to a 5-year-old, I'm sure that that's what they say the color orange would taste like.
You know, I'm pretty sure this is the same bottle they used for the ones they took up to the astronauts in the 60s.
No more Tang. My tummy tilt. My tummy hurt. Really bad. No more Tang. It's not bueno. Well, there's the end of that story. I've tried Tang. I didn't like it.
Now we need to come up with another thing we need Caden to try on the show.
No.
Oh, I'll think of something.
Absolutely. No, I don't care if you think of 100 things. I'm not trying them anymore.
Did it help that I tried it with you?
No, not really.
Yeah. At least I can attempt to say I was there for you, buddy.
You were there for me,
You're,
but that didn't help.
Oh, that's fair. All right, Caden. Are we ready to move on to your quick review?
I don't know, probably.
Can you remember anything past the last 20 minutes?
Dang. Okay. I think we're good. Is there anything else you want to add before I do the quick review?
No, let's get it over with before you start projectile vomiting Tang everywhere.
Give you guys that nice fresh orange coat you wanted. All right.
Some nice chunky ASMR.
Shut up. So, like we said, the movie we're going to be discussing today is Jurassic World Rebirth. I just call it Jurassic Rebirth. And so the story follows a pharmaceutical CEO named something Krebs.
Martin Krebs.
Martin Krebs. And he's looking for a spec ops team to collect blood samples from a test research facility of InGen called Isle Saint Hubert.
Mm-hmm.
Along the way, him and the spec ops team encounter a shipwrecked family. And from that point forward is where we fully get into that two stories at one.
Mm-hmm. It's a mess. It really, really is. Like, the first hour of this movie doesn't really need to exist.
This movie doesn't need to exist.
That's also fair. But yeah, the family and the Spec Ops team are the two different movies we're talking about. The family side is much more of a horror survival story.
Oh, absolutely.
And the Spec Ops is more of a science, action, espionage type movie. Not normally do those genres clash very well.
This is a proven point with this movie.
But yeah. If this movie would have just been the family, I feel like this movie would have been 100 times better.
Oh, absolutely.
And it could have very easily shot up on the rankings. Because then you get to capture that kind of like true Jurassic World type of story where like you're living where in a world where people are interacting with dinosaurs. Kind of like what we were promised in the last movie, but on a much more intimate scale, and you don't have the action heroes of the last two films. So it's much more of a human story.
Right.
Kind of like what they're trying to do with the new Resident Evil movie. They're trying to make it so where it's not like this epic action movie with somebody who does backflips and ninja kicks and stuff.
It's just a regular guy doing regular stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's where this movie could have thrived. But that is sadly not what we got. Instead, we got Scarlett Johansson doing Black Widow / survivalist / dinosaur stuff. Yay.
I wouldn't say Black Widow.
Dude, remember in the last part where she went after the family?
No.
Oh, that's right. Yep, never mind. Yeah. Sorry, this movie is just very, very, very much a letdown.
Yeah.
Now, I know this is going to seem like we're always going to rag on the last entries of these franchises.
Very, very not true. And I can tell you that because of our next series installation. I personally love the next movies in the series.
Oh, absolutely. But like, even in the correlation between this and Dial of Destiny, this is a much better film than Dial of Destiny.
Oh,
This one
absolutely.
is much more rewatchable than Dial of Destiny is. So right now, out of everything we've ever done, Dial of Destiny is the worst movie we have covered on the channel,
Mm-hmm.
on the show.
Mm-hmm.
This is like maybe one kind of tier above that. It's very loose. It's right on that line.
Maybe half tier.
Yeah.
Full tier sounds too generous.
That's fair.
But, cut it into two movies with the only real parts are the intersection parts where both teams meet up,
Mhm.
and then you cut it into two separate movies. Boom. Perfect movies right there.
Yeah.
Just each movie would be more coherent. You could delve into the stories of each a little better.
Mm-hmm. And that's the other bad thing about this movie. They give you so many character moments to try to feel for the characters, but like you get like 4 or 5 of those scenes within 45 minutes, and they're just cramming it down your throat,
Yeah.
and it drags the entire first act of the movie down. Like, the movie doesn't pick up pace until, like, I would say about a good almost halfway through the movie, because that's when like the action starts.
Oh, absolutely.
And then after that, it just boom, 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 match cut, match cut, match cut, match cut. It's yeah, it's not a well paced movie as well. But then, like I said, they're trying to essentially fit two movies into one. So literally, it is literally back and forth between Spec Ops and the family.
Yeah.
You get about a good 10 minutes with each, and it's just cutting back and forth. This is some of the most edit cuts I've seen in a movie, and I am not meaning that in a nice way.
Now, by all means, the Spec Op portion of the movie, really good.
The idea is awesome.
Absolutely. I love how they go about it. I love how you feel for the characters, their excitement, their fear, and all that. But it doesn't mesh well when you're cutting halfway through an action sequence to go back to the family.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa with the family when you're halfway through them getting chased by something to cut back to monotone talking from the action heroes.
Yeah. And I was reading this in the production things. They were trying to capture the tone of the original Jurassic Park. They kind of got it, because if you think about it, Jurassic Park was kind of two movies at once too, with the whole visitor center team and then Alan and the kids. But they handled it so much better.
That's because the majority of the movie wasn't two teams.
Mm-hmm. But like, they also didn't. The family in this movie, it just felt tacked on because you can have a kid in danger.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the bad things about the family. And that's from the half of the Spec Ops side. Now you take the family as the main thing. A family just is on their annual crossing across the Atlantic, have a run-in with dinosaurs, and they get stranded on a dinosaur island. That's a great story.
Oh, absolutely.
But then you add in action heroes. That does it neither one complements the other.
I'm going to say this. Resident Evil is a really good example.
Mm-hmm.
Started out as a horror franchise,
It is like the survival horror franchise.
It's probably the most well-known zombie franchise.
Mm-hmm.
But Resident Evil 4 started that shift away from the horror aspect and into action adventure. And it, even in a game that's really well put together as both for the original and for the remake,
Mm-hmm.
it still feels so jarring
Yeah.
Because like you're supposed to be afraid, but you're playing as this action hero.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't sit well if not handled properly. And
Well, and like the only way that game is scary is with the kind of horror is in like the overwhelming horror
mm-hmm.
and in the gigantic monster
Yeah.
kind of horror. But then it went over the edge with 5 when you got Chris Redfield over here punching boulders with his bare hands. That's when the series lost its way.
Yeah.
Nothing against 5 and 6. And I noticed we talk about Resident Evil a lot on this podcast, especially this last season, but that's neither here nor there. But it tracks with so many of these franchises that have a line, but they just stray off of it because they want to keep making them. But like in defense of Resident Evil, they were trying to tell bigger stories.
Yeah.
And you can only do that with the kind of story that they were trying to tell. And it was not going to remain small and isolated horror for very long when you talk about zombie outbreaks.
I guess since we're talking about horror versus action, a good Resident Evil game, still on the topic of it, is the most recent one they came out
Requiem.
with. Uh-huh. Because they work on it so well, they give you a new character thrown into the horror aspect of it, and you're like, oh, yeah, this character's terrified. And then in the action adventure catalog, you get a character you're familiar with that knows what they're doing, that has been in this situation before.
Mm-hmm.
The reason it feels so jarring for Rebirth is because the action heroes you've never heard of before.
Nope.
There's only one reference to any of the other characters, and we'll talk about him later. But other than that, these are new characters that you really don't have any connection to. So you don't know just how effective they really are.
And they try to build up the legend of these characters, and it just doesn't work.
No.
Because you're like, you know, about the main character Zora, who is
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah. They're like, this woman can get in and get out of anywhere. She's one of the best spec ops people. Like, you can say that about anybody. But like, we don't believe it
unless we see it.
But like, she barely does any actiony stuff in this movie except aim a dart sniper and does some slidey stuff into a sewer towards the end of the movie. That is like really the only action stuff she does in this movie to make us think she's anywhere close to being this super cool Leon Kennedy-like person, and it's just not buyable.
And I feel like we should definitely preference this. Nothing against the actors.
Oh.
The actors were absolutely incredible. Even the child actor was phenomenal with the way they all acted it out, the way that you could actually feel their emotions for most of them. The script, the way they took the direction was not good.
And I do want to preface this. They made this movie in under a year. They announced it in 2024. It came out in 2025. Enough said.
Yeah.
And this is actually made by the guy who did the 2014 Godzilla. The Gareth Edwards.
That movie was so good, though.
He also wrote that movie. Gareth Edwards did not write this movie. Speaking of which, should we get on to production tales?
Yeah.
Or do you want to keep trolling this movie?
No, we control it as we talk about it later.
All right. On to production tales? Okay. Now, this film is written by David Koepp. He co-wrote the original 1993 Jurassic Park.
Okay.
He shared screenplay credit with Michael Crichton, who did the novels, The Lost World and Jurassic Park. Kep returned as solo writer on the latter films adaptation on Jurassic Park 2, blah 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 blah. And of course, Steven Spielberg directed both those films, and he returned as an executive producer, as we all know. Kep initially turned down the chance to write another film, believing he had nothing left to contribute to the series. He was still consulted for subsequent films and eventually did uncredited script work on Dominion. Which that makes sense because it kind of has that kind of flavor of the original Jurassic Park. Also, I'm sure he did a lot of the original characters' work or whatever. Colin Trevorrow spent 9 years working on the Jurassic Park trilogy, as we know, as a director and co-writer, and said he would likely not return for another film except in a possible advisory role. He ultimately had no involvement in Rebirth. Development on Rebirth started almost immediately after Dominion because of Dominion's numbers, which that's understandable. With an early story idea from Spielberg that features heavily in the final film, so at least they didn't have like 2 or 3 different rewrites or whatever. Spielberg had a very specific tone that he wanted, that's one of the things about him being like one of your executive producers. I feel like he's just going to tell you what to do and you like have to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's Steven Spielberg. That's like the whole Poltergeist situation where everybody always thinks it's a Steven Spielberg movie, but really it's a Tobe Hooper movie. But that's a whole like thing I'm not going to get into. Spielberg had brought his idea to Kep and asked him about writing a new film in the series, which led to an exchange of other ideas. Kep took the project upon learning how deeply involved Spielberg would be in crafting it. Over the next 6 months, they developed the screenplay and seeking to revive the tone of the original Jurassic Park trilogy, particularly the first film. Kep also said, "We decided early on, because the first and second trilogies have concluded their stories, let's not restrict ourselves in any way, and let's have all new characters in an all-new location." They didn't want to write themselves in a box.
Right.
So they wrote themselves in a box. And you will understand what we're talking about when we get to the spoiler review, because it is literally like our first or second notes of the kind of box that they write themselves in.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the worst kind of box to write yourself in. Especially if you ever want to continue to expand the story. Yeah, you can't do that anymore.
No.
Not with this story. Kep wanted to revisit the concept of humans in a dinosaur environment, so he essentially wanted to remake the original movies. Whereas 2 preceding films had shifted towards the animal living amongst humans, which Kep said, "I don't know where else to go with that." He felt that this idea had been thoroughly explored.
Not really.
Furthermore, saying, once that happened, you can go anywhere in the world. You can have as many crazy dinosaur situations as you want. I was more limited. I find limitations freeing. I think we actually had an easier time than the 3 Jurassic World movies because they got so big that becomes so hard to work with. I can understand that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But then like you have to have the escalation issue of like you just keep growing and growing the world. But then you have to explore that world because that's what people want. Which like it's not an issue as long as you are able to be a director and a writer that has the vision and the ability to be able to handle that scope and scale. That's like taking like an indie filmmaker, like, hey, you want to make a Jurassic Park movie the size of Avatar? Here you go.
I'd quit.
Dude, I would have to see the check first.
No, I don't care. I put it.
That would have to be at least an Avatar checked for James Cameron level amount of money for me to say yes. And actually, I do want to go off one little tangent here, and I want to know what anybody else thinks about this. Let me know down in the comments. Do you think Subnautica would be a better, more interesting movie than Avatar? I want to know what you think.
Me personally?
Yes.
Oh, no.
No?
No. There's already so much in-game stuff, and we know for certain that a lot of game adaptations don't do well.
Right.
So, just for example, the first Subnautica would have to be several movies. Unless you do jump cut, jump cut, jump cut, lore exposition, jump cut, jump cut.
That's true. Yeah.
I think as games, they give off exactly what they need to give off. But as movies, I can't see that happening.
I think it'd be an interesting concept to be able to explore cinematically.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like it would be a very visually pleasing film. I think it would very much rival Avatar in the scope and scale.
Right.
I feel like it's much more doable in the sense of you can have people actually in water for an exterior amount of time because the player character is wearing swimming stuff.
Yeah.
So like you can do all of that practically. Whereas you have to, an Avatar, you have to like, okay, we're going to have you do like breathing exercises so you can breathe underwater for God knows how long. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of an interesting idea. Let me know down in the comments. What do you think? Am I completely insane? Which I mean, I am.
You are.
Let me know what you guys think. Please let me know. I'm curious. Tell me. Start the petition. Anyways, Kep and Spielberg devised a story involving a secret island facility used for dinosaur research and development. Then had to determine why characters would visit such a place, according to Kep. While doing research, I found that certain dinosaurs, sorry on that one, larger ones in particular, did have extraordinarily long lifespans. And the reason they had remarkably low incidences of heart disease that led to the idea of that a drug could be synthesized from their DNA because the greatest killer of humans is heart disease.
Which they actually say that in movie about 1 in every 5 people will get heart disease. So,
also, it's corporate America we're living in. Everybody wants everybody to die of heart disease. It feels like. Look at all the stuff they put in all of our products, and
we're not getting into
I was going to
that.
say we're not that kind of podcast yet.
No.
Specific sponsors.
No.
Hit us up.
No.
Ben Lamb, co-founder of Colossal Biosciences, said the premise is realistic. There's hidden cures and hidden data in all these species that we're losing. The idea of mutant dinosaurs was inspired by the hybridized dinosaurs of earlier Jurassic World films. Kep said that he and Spielberg realized the hybrids can't all have gone well. This is genetic experimentation. Things are not going to work out sometimes. Initially, Kep planned to feature the character Atwater more heavily, having him eventually partner with Krebs to betray the others. That's interesting.
I can see it, though.
Oh, yeah, because he's very much like a
monetary guy.
Very much that. And he's very much like a we love the company kind of guy. You know what I mean? Before writing the script, Kep rewatched the preceding 6 films on the franchise. He also reread Crichton's Jurassic Park novels. For the first time in nearly 30 years, incorporating concepts from both books, Rebirth includes a sequence from the first novel that was cut from its adaptation, in which characters in a raft must escape a T-Rex. We have talked about this. I think we talked about it in the first Jurassic Park episode we did.
Mm.
I think maybe, but I know we have talked about it to some degree. Which, by the way, this is like one of the best parts of this movie is the raft sequence.
It still comes with some complaints.
A monologue by the character Henry Loomis was also pulled from the novel, and additionally includes an unused line of dialogue that Kep wrote for the character Ian Malcolm in early drafts of Jurassic Park. He's definitely like the Alan Grant, should they, shouldn't they. He very much has like a moral center to him. And you see that, and I think that's why he's kind of like one of my more favorite characters out of the series, because he just understands. He understands the situation. He understands what the dinosaurs are essentially are at this point in the lore of Jurassic World. And he just completely understands. And I think that's why I like him.
Right.
Aside from the inclusion of dinosaurs, Kep had no story requirements to follow in writing the script, although he did compile a list of rules for himself. These included the film being based on accurate science, and that it would not retcon any events from previous films, and that humorous dialogue be included. It kind of lands sometimes. He also sought to depict the non-mutant dinosaurs as animals rather than monsters, which he did.
Oh, absolutely.
Stating that their actions are driven by either hunger or territorial defense. I think they did that with the Indominus as well, in the fact of like, kind of like how Owen said, like she's finding out who she is in the food chain.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is really predominant.
Mm-hmm.
By September 2023, Kep had begun writing the screenplay in earnest, turning in a draft 3 months later. Frank Marshall and Patrick Crowley, producers of the Jurassic World trilogy, would return for Rebirth, although another installment was expected at some point. Marshall and Crowley were unaware that Spielberg was already working on the project until the first draft was turned in. With a mid-2025 release date being targeted, the producers were surprised by the limited amount of production time, but they were soon determined it to be adequate. Do you think a 1-year turnaround is good enough for a movie like this?
No, not really.
The project was unveiled in January 2024 when it was reported that a new Jurassic World film was in development by Universal Pictures. Like the previous Jurassic World films, the new installment would be produced by Marshall and Crowley through the Kennedy Marshall Company, which is not Lucasfilm. While Spielberg would executive produce through Amblin Entertainment, just like every other Jurassic movie. Development on the project had been underway for some time, with several drafts already been written by Kep. Producers had also done some pre-production work, including dinosaur designs, meaning that any creative input from the eventual director would be minimal. So it sounds like they had their movie before they had a director.
Sounds about like it.
And I think that's kind of why Gareth Edwards' style doesn't really shine through. Because like he does great with gigantic monsters.
Oh, absolutely.
He did amazing with Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
But you can definitely tell that like he didn't have say in this movie.
No, which is a shame because later on we'll get to a scene that actually I really like. So,
yeah,
involving giant dinosaurs.
And also like we're also going to be talking about Godzilla 2014 at some point this season. And I'm really going to be glad we can definitely going back and forth
Oh yeah.
in kind of like the differences between the two films. David Leitch, who has previously served as a second unit director on Jurassic World, was briefly considered to become the main director of this film in February 2024. But negotiations broke down after several days, as the project's progress up to that point left little room for his creative input. Edgar Wright also turned down the project because he wanted to direct his dream film, The Running Man, which we have yet to see, because it is the remake of the Schwarzenegger film, because it's like a Stephen King story. Gareth Edwards was announced as a director later that month. So it sounds like they just went down a line and they just agreed on the guy that said yes. That's kind of like what I'm getting here. I'm sure that Godzilla was also another big selling point.
Oh, absolutely.
Because his last big thing was The Creator in 2023. It was an A24 film. I think it's kind of like an Avatar type film. Like it's like this gigantic sci-fi epic. I don't really know how the best to describe it is. I've only seen a couple things.
A future war between humans and AI.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, because apparently there's a super weapon.
Sorry about that, guys. We just had an edit issue. Loki barked in the middle of Caden's conversation, and he might have forgotten what he was talking about.
Definitely forgot what I was talking about.
I think we were talking about the Creator movie or something.
Yeah. It just from what I read alone, the concept seemed good.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a human versus AI. A spec op team has to go destroy an AI super weapon, and the weapon turns out to be like a child.
Mm-hmm.
It's like interesting, all things considered.
Honestly, like some Dune level stuff or whatever, probably.
Probably.
I'm pretty much done with production tales. The shoot went smooth and everything. They had multiple different locations. Because they did a boat scene, and they had to do that on location. I forget where it is, but it's all good.
It's somewhere.
It's somewhere in the ocean, I bet. All right. I think this is it. All right, Caden, are we ready to get into the budget and the box office of this movie?
Yeah.
All right. Production budget of this movie had a $180 million to $225 million budget.
Okay. Not a bad budget.
Not for a big dinosaur movie budget, not at all.
Definitely not.
Caden, how much do you think this movie made?
600 million.
Higher.
Billions?
No, not that high.
800 million.
$872 million is what this movie made worldwide. You're getting better.
You didn't even let me take my third guess.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, how about this?
892 million.
Shoot, just 20 million off, buddy. So close. Okay, how about this? How much do you think it made domestically for your third guess?
That is in country, right?
US and Canada.
I want to say about 500 million.
Ooh, lower. I'll give you one more guess.
Anywhere between 300 and 4 million.
You're right. Since you said in between there, you're right. Technically on the money.
I'm so glad you knew what I meant.
339.6 million. is what we made domestically, and internationally it made $532.7 million.
Not bad.
So definitely still not pulling our weight, but yeah, this was definitely a success
Absolutely.
at the box office. It still doesn't justify the fact that the franchise is pretty much dead now.
Yeah.
Apart from the animated series or whatever that we talked about, but like I said, it made Jurassic World money, like not like anybody was expecting any different or whatever, but yeah. Your spoiler warning is in effect. Stop the show. Go watch the movie if you haven't seen it. Other than that, Caden, we ready to get into it?
Yep.
All right. The movie starts. You're never going to get off my back.
How did I know that that's how you were going to say it?
It's either the movie begins, the film begins, or the movie starts. It's one of the three.
We start off with
an island facility. And we learn it's an InGen facility.
Yeah.
On Isle Saint Hubert. Caden, have you ever heard of this island before?
No, because it doesn't exist.
Oh.
Technically, by the lore that has already been established by the movie, this is a secret island.
And this just turns out they are doing some mutation experiments.
Not hybrid mutations.
And we see two results of these experiments. We see the Mutodon,
which is a
raptor mixed with a
pterodon?
Something like that.
Some form of pterodon.
And then the D-Rex. Otherwise known as the Distortus Rex.
Is that actually what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's actually a really cool name.
Really cool name, followed by a really ugly and underused character.
Well, okay. Actually thinking about it from a logical standpoint, if you are mutating something, it's more likely than not going to be hideous.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're thinking of X-Men mutations, not radiation mutations.
Because this is some Fallout level stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like the idea and the concept of the D-Rex is good. Like it's pretty cool.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the trailers hype me up for this thing. But he's only in the movie like maybe 15 minutes.
Oh, no, not even that much.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say 5 minutes.
Yeah. Because like this is supposed to be like the selling point of the film. This is your new big bad. This is supposed to be the ultimate monster. You have like essentially the head of the xenomorph from Alien. You have little T-Rex arms. You got giant King Kong arms.
If anybody has ever watched the original Cloverfield movie, think of that.
Yeah. Like the concept is cool.
It looks okay.
Like, yeah, like I like the design. It's pretty cool concept, and the idea of it is pretty cool.
It's just they underutilized it.
Because they're too busy focusing on characters.
Yeah.
And the D-Rex is another victim of the script of this movie. And I also want to point out the entirety of this movie takes place because of Snickers.
Yep, not. I hate that, but he's not wrong. Okay, I've already talked to you about it, but technically, it was bound to happen eventually.
Yeah, it's also. I mean, it is human error.
So,
but like them so blatantly making it a branded things issue. Like, hey, this science guy, he's eating a Snickers bar on the job. Hey, what if this Snickers wrapper caused the entire movie to happen? Well, I like it, Bob. Let's do it.
So the guy eats a Snickers candy bar. The wrapper falls onto the floor, and as he walks into a containment unit, is the best way I can describe it.
It's the
It's
D-Rex's cell.
Yep, it's two doors. He gets through the first one no problem, but the Snickers wrapper follows him in. Random gust of wind, whatever. It happens. There's a second door.
It's death from Final Destination.
Yeah. There's a second door with an airflow vent at the bottom of it.
Because they're airlock doors.
The Snickers wrapper gets stuck in it,
And it fries the secondary doors.
which allows the D-Rex to escape. Somehow.
But, like, the D-Rex really doesn't escape.
No. Like, so regardless on if that guy was eating any candy at that point or not, the D-Rex would have gotten out.
Yeah.
I think that was just in their eyes, a cute little way of being like, tee-hee, sponsorship time.
And that's just how sad it is. But this guy does eventually, go on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, this is one of the most terrifying deaths that we've had up in this point in the franchise.
It's also really sad, too. At least I think so.
Because, like,
The guy's begging for his life.
like this scene reminds me of 2014 Godzilla. Like, when they're down in, like, in the reactor or whatever. It reminds me a lot of that scene. Because, like, of the reds and everything like that.
Yeah.
Definitely some similarities there. And also, they definitely played the D-Rex kind of like how they played Godzilla in that movie.
Right.
Whereas, like, they didn't hardly want to use him at all. He's like, hey, we got this iconic character, bro. What if we just, like, kept him in the shadows or just, like, kept him off camera? Gold. All right.
Whatever works, I guess.
Mass chaos ensues, and I wrote down cool logo. This is the coolest logo intro we have in the series. This movie relies heavily on the color red.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Not just because of the flares and everything, which are predominant in this film, but, like, yeah, this movie definitely focuses on, like, the color red for an unknown reason.
Probably to help with, like, fear.
Yeah, maybe.
Give off, like, emotional color spectrum, like red, fear, be afraid, anger.
Just screwed.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts to a news article, as most lore dumps in these movies are. The modern climate is killing all the dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
It's too cold. The air isn't rich enough with oxygen because of what us as a species have done to the planet. Totally not some kind of attack on humans or ecological anything or whatever, but whatever. But dinosaurs can only exist on a few key islands around the equator
Mm-hmm.
because of how warm it is and because of how rich in oxygen it is. And this is the box we were talking about.
Yeah. They had a very good opportunity to, focus on one island while not limiting themselves. But they said, hey, let's kill the dinosaurs.
And not to repeat what they kind of did with Fallen Kingdom in the result of, like, hey, we can't go to Nublar anymore. That was a smart choice because then they can't just keep repeating the same movies over and over again. That was a smart way of doing that. It also forced the series to take place in amongst humans in normal life.
Yeah.
They did it for one movie and they're like, never mind, let's go back to the islands. It's whatever.
I mean, in my opinion, the islands are a lot better because it's unexplored habitats.
Yeah.
You're not seeing thousands of people run around.
That's true. Sure, from a filmmaking perspective, I'm sure that is the smarter choice.
Absolutely.
But definitely putting themselves back in the corner of like, hey, dinosaurs aren't with us anymore. Like, if you want them, you got to go back to essentially the islands again. And this is where we meet Martin Krebs, our guy from Parker Genix, who is a medical pharmaceutical company.
Mm-hmm.
He is in his car, and we see Bronto Billy. He is the last Brachiosaurus in North America.
Yeah.
Sad,
And he's sick
and he's sick.
and dying.
Um,
And people just, in the movie, while we're in the cities, they're like, let's get him out of here. Let's hurry it up. People got stuff to do. They don't care anymore.
yeah, and honestly, that's like another issue I have with this movie is like it just kicks the animals essentially in the nuts.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because like for the last two movies are like, dude, these animals have rights. We need to protect these animals. Essentially, like 5 years later, they're old news. Nobody cares. They became so normalized, nobody cares anymore.
And then they're dying off again, and still nobody cares.
This is like a bad epilogue.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I'm not happy with how they treat the animals
No.
in this movie. But like, I'm very glad that we only get to see this, and not like essentially us getting repeatedly gut punched, with like dinosaur, dinosaur that, which I'm very very thankful for.
Last surviving species. He's dead.
Awesome. Now we have resources. But Parker Genix wants dino DNA for a heart disease medication. And this is where Zora Bennett comes in, who is Scarlett Johansson's character, the main quote unquote character. There's no real main character here.
It technically is Zora.
It's sad to admit that, but yeah.
I mean, it's not sad, it's the truth. You know, like I said, if the movie was separated into two, it would be a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Both iterations of the story would be a lot better. Or as like
Go ahead.
Or as like a TV show, a 4-part special.
Right. Kind of like a little like post Dominion world or whatever, just to kind of see like what happens, because like I don't discredit how the story is treating the dinosaurs or whatever by any means whatsoever. Like, I'm not saying that's a cheap way of doing it. Like, I understand that would be a way of handling it,
Right.
but just like with all the buildup of them being able to live freely amongst us, and then it'd just be like, oh, they're all dead.
Yeah. It really dumb.
You can definitely kind of tell that they were like, Dominion was like the final film, and they were like, hey dude, what if we got some more Jurassic Park money? Hey, I think that's a great idea. Any ideas?
Let's kill the dinosaurs.
Nope. That's essentially how it feels.
And Dominion makes it feel like the dinosaurs will actually somehow integrate into the modern world.
Mm-hmm.
No.
But like the worst part is like this movie takes place only a few years after that film.
5 years.
5 years.
Really sucks.
Yeah. But this is where Zora Bennett comes in because Krebs needs the DNA, and nobody's allowed to go on dinosaur islands anymore because, like, you know, we only have 5 other movies of this kind of story to like teach us a lesson, but you know, it's money, baby. You got to get that rich moolah. And you gotta send people to their deaths to get it, man.
Yeah.
And now we are headed off to, it doesn't really say, but it's a museum in New York. And this is the only nostalgia point in this movie.
And I brought this up to you.
And it's well received, I would say. It is the skeleton of a T-Rex, and they have the "When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth" banner from the original film. And the museum is closing down because like nobody like cares about any form of dinosaurs anymore. Like even the fossils, the science of it, like nobody cares about any of it. Any of it. And that just makes it even more sad.
Yeah.
But they drop the banner like how it drops in the end of the first film. And it's a cool nod. I would give it that at most. Definitely seems a little repetitive. I feel like they've done it before or whatever. It was because in Jurassic World the Indominus stood where the T-Rex stood. When it did, I guess that's like the closest thing we've had come to it or whatever.
The way I think about it is this is the end of a series.
Yeah.
This is the end of a franchise, and this is like their way of letting us know. Granted, that's my interpretation.
Because like they're not ruling anymore.
No.
The movies get worse as they go on.
Shh. We already know this.
And we meet Dr. Henry Loomis,
Who I will mostly be referring to as either Loomis or Dr. Loomis.
He is our secondary protagonist, quote unquote. And we need to get samples from, as I said in Production Tales, they wanted the science to be real. And the three largest animals had the greatest hearts because of their size.
Yeah.
And so they need to get samples from the Mosasaurus, the Titanosaurus, and the Quetzalcoatl. I butchered that. They call it two different things.
The Quetzalcoatl.
The what?
The Quetzalcoatl. Something like that. It's not
Big Bird. We're going to call it Big Bird.
The F-16.
Yes.
We can't name it, but it was the bird in Dominion that ended up taking out Anna, right? Was that her name?
It's right here. Oh man. Kayla's plane, yeah.
It's the bird that took down Kayla's plane.
Yeah. So
from here on out, since we can't name it, we'll just be referring to as F-16.
The F-16.
Because that's what they say it's
about the size of.
Yeah.
And so they get them to agree, and so the mission is on. Woohoo! And we meet Duncan Kincaid. He is our
shipmaster.
Our shipmaster, our captain. Zora and Duncan are old friends. They used to be in some form of spec ops together. And they perform a con on Krebs. They're like, sorry, man, I can't do it. It's just short notice. And so they're able to get double the money.
Which it works.
And then we get Bobby Atwell.
Atwater,
sorry. I don't know why I said Atwell, but
water.
Yeah.
Same old.
Bobby. And he is like our sharpshooter. He's our cool guy.
And he tries to do the same thing that Duncan and Zora just did.
And they're like, we already worked it. And I was like, oh, gotcha. Sorry. Parker Jennings got the Mosasaurus tracker after InGen Chapter 11. So, and this confirms what we thought in Dominion and why InGen has been so absent since Jurassic World, the first one, is that like they just dived after the Jurassic World incident, so they just don't exist anymore.
Right.
And like they said they had a timeline of when the opening of this movie took place to some degree, because like InGen was still quote unquote operating at that point. Because like this island had been around since the first film, like the first film.
Mm-hmm.
But like they were just using it for all of their stuff they like really probably shouldn't be doing on that island.
It happens.
You get that all of a sudden. And that's when we learned that the island is a testing facility for these characters, but we already knew that. And so now we learn about the collection dart, about the samples and everything, and it has like a rocket.
Actually really cool piece of technology.
I'm pretty sure it's realistic. I think maybe
A dinosaur blood sample
no,
rocket.
not like the dinosaur part, but like even just like for animal samples, something like this could exist.
Maybe, probably not though.
Because like it only tracks because they wanted this movie to be scientifically real. Anywho, 47 miles south of here,
We get to the actual start of the good movie.
we start the second movie, bro. Jurassic World Rebirth Part 2.
No, stop.
Where we meet Ruben, Xavier, Teresa, and Isabella. They're a family that is making their yearly trek across the Atlantic. Ruben is the father of Xavier and Teresa.
Nope.
Oh, sorry, Isabella and Teresa. I'm
There
sorry.
you go.
And Xavier is the
Boyfriend of Teresa.
lovely boyfriend of Teresa.
And I'm just gonna say it now. He sucks. He sucks.
I agree. But it is sad that this guy gets the greatest character arc in the movie.
Yeah.
But they're doing their annual trek. Their annual trek. Sorry. And Mosey attacks the boat.
It's I feel like before we say that, we should describe how Xavier's not good.
He's lazy.
Very. So Ruben has been steering the ship for several hours.
I think he said like 5 or 6 hours.
And they take turns. Teresa, Xavier, and Ruben. Isabel doesn't because she's the youngest, probably.
By about 7 or 8.
I was gonna say. And Xavier's just like, oh no, you can keep going.
It's like, man, I'm so tired. I just fall asleep at the wheel, man.
He's pretty much just a freeloader.
And he plays it well.
He does.
But yeah, Mosey attacks the boat, and then we cut back to movie A.
We forgot to mention something.
Go ahead.
This will be important a little later. But before the Mosasaurus attacks, Teresa ends up seeing something in the water that resembles
Fins. 2 fins. 2 or 3 fins.
4.
4 fins?
There were 4.
I lost count of the fins. There's a lot of finned creatures in this movie.
We won't say what it is yet, but it's a fan favorite of mine.
I was going to say, it's a returning fan favorite for the first time since its debut. And it cuts back to, like I said, the first movie.
Yeah.
Henry and Zora are having a moment, followed by Zora and Duncan having another moment. This is the part when I talk about this movie drags.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to build up the characters of plot A.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. You're supposed to feel for this person when, like, we've only seen them in maybe 20 minutes of screen time.
Right.
And they're supposed to be like, this chick's cool, like she gotten through some PTSD right now. She missed her own mom's funeral, all that kind of stuff.
She's hardcore.
But like, you just can't feel for her. You can't really feel for any of them. except for maybe Henry and maybe Duncan.
The most you end up feeling for is for the family.
Yeah.
Nothing against the action team, though. It's just
No.
they should stick with action.
Ruben's SOS comes over the boat, and Duncan hears it, and go figure. Krebs wants to keep going.
He wants to get the Mosasaurus blood sample first and then go back.
But Duncan makes him turn around because Duncan lost his kid, I think. And so, like, he's very protective of kids or whatever. And so, like, that's, like, another thing that makes Duncan one of the better characters in this movie. Is, like, he, like, genuinely cares about people.
Right.
That's, like, the kind of like the same with Henry. Like, he cares.
He cares not just about people, but about the dinosaurs as well.
Yeah.
Because this is the connection to the other movies I was talking about. Henry worked with Alan Grant.
Yeah, he studied under Grant on, like, an expedition or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, he has connection there.
I feel like the movie might be a little better if he was the more focus of the story.
Right?
I don't know.
Kind of like passing the torch kind of thing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Also, maybe it would have helped if he was Billy.
Mm.
I feel like that could have been a better choice.
Oh, absolutely.
Then we get the Mosey hunt.
And,
I literally just wrote down Jaws. This entire scene is just a rip off of Jaws.
Because the family ends up getting picked up, and Mosey decides, hey.
Them's my foods.
So it turns into a very actionative scene with the Mosasaurus eventually slamming into the boat, almost knocking Zora off.
Mm-hmm.
But thankfully, Zora's strapped into something on the boat.
And Henry's right there too, so.
She ends up pulling herself up, and Mosa, or Mosey, whatever we're calling her, ends up getting close enough that Zora can take the shot and get the blood sample.
And we get it. But then not long after that, surprise. Our finned friends are here.
And no, they're not some kind of amphibian-based creature.
Caden, do you want to say it?
They're the Spinosaurus.
And there's 3 or 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we have Bobby Atwater coming in to save the day, right?
Because Bobby, or Atwater, brought some neurotoxins that can disable big dinosaurs in seconds.
Yep.
Unfortunately, for a sharpshooter, he sucks at shooting.
And Caden, how well does that end for him?
He ends up going on vacation thanks to a Spinosaurus ripping him off the boat.
In the most traumatizing way for a child possible.
It was, for Teresa.
No, for Isabella.
Was it Isabella?
Isabella's the youngest one.
Oh. Yeah, because I thought it was Teresa.
Teresa's the one who's dating Xavier.
Yeah, I know.
But no, it was in front of Isabella.
Okay.
But yeah, no, this dude just gets bitten and grabbed and just yanked off the boat in front of this little girl. There's some therapy bills coming your way.
Mm-hmm.
And then Isabella starts sliding off the boat, and Ruben slides in to grab her. Caden, how well does that end for him?
His foot gets stuck in between like a bolted chair leg or something. And he manages to grab his daughter, but his leg, you can hear it snap.
Yeah. So now Ruben has a downed leg for the rest of the movie.
Does that stop him, though?
No. Because he's Ruben, man.
He ends up moving maybe 10% slower.
Yeah. Also, I want to shout out the guy who plays Ruben is a returning actor to the show.
Oh, is he?
He was in The Magnificent Seven.
Oh.
He was the Mexican sharpshooter. He was Faraday's friend.
So you're telling me we missed a chance to see Faraday and his buddy in this movie because they didn't rehire Chris Pratt? Oh, I'm upset by that now.
Owen still would have went up to him and say "Yippee, yippee, yippee, yandele," or because that's what he said in Magnificent Seven. Remember that?
No, not really. You gotta remember how long it's been since we've watched that movie.
Yeah, that's fair. That was like the first weekend.
It was the first watch for me too.
That's also true. It would have just been one of those awkward relationships that turn into a pure bromance.
But getting back to the movie, Ruben manages to save Isabella. The mosasaur stops rocking the boat, and everything kind of calms down. So Teresa goes to grab
The radio.
Krebs isn't happy about this
He's like, we're gonna have to take care of this ourselves.
because
You ain't supposed to be there, son.
yeah, Isle Saint Hubert
Mhm.
is a
It's like top of the no-go list.
yeah, and the fact that they're going there could get every single one of them life in prison.
At least. But she slips, and Krebs is about to let her fall. And she does fall.
Yeah, I was gonna say he doesn't about let her fall. She does fall.
Like there might be a glimpse of hesitation there, but no. This dude's just evil.
Mm-hmm.
He just cares about the almighty dollar. But Ruben and them see that, and so Ruben and the family jump off the boat, and this is the start of Xavier's redemption arc.
Which, quick correction, Ruben and the others
Are
like
getting
the
ready
family.
to jump off anyways.
Well, no, they saw Teresa
Yeah.
fall. They didn't see.
Yeah, they just see her fall off the boat.
Yeah, not Krebs just standing there watching her slip.
Yeah, because this was inside.
Yeah. But yeah, as you were saying, this is the start of Xavier's redemption arc.
He like grabs a boogie board and he like Baywatches himself over the back of the boat and just like goes for it.
Just to save Teresa, which is like, well, all right, brother.
But I do want to say, like, his swan dive was like flawless.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's see. And the boat crashes, and Ruben and his family are together again off of a stream, off of the main ocean or whatever. And everybody's getting their gear and stuff, and we get our third vacation.
She had a minor role as like a second.
She was a
ship
crew
captain.
member. She was a crew member of Duncan's.
Yeah.
Her name is Nina, and she gets killed by a Gatorsaurus off screen.
Spino?
Or
was it a different breed?
It was a different breed. It was like those little things that were in the mine in Dominion.
Okay.
But it was like a longer version of that, I would say.
Okay.
It might have been a crossbreed of some kind. I can't be that for sure. I can't say that for sure, but I'm just calling it a Gatorsaurus because that is exactly what it looks like.
Oh yeah.
And Ruben and his family, and they have mentioned there is a village on this island, kind of like how Lost World was.
Mhm.
And so Ruben and his family are like, okay, bro, we got to get to the village because their helicopter is supposed to be there. And so they head for the village, and they're following steam pipes because it's geothermal power, like everything else is in these movies.
Which, I mean,
Smart.
very smart, especially since it seems like every island they go on has an active volcano.
Yeah.
Or dormant to active volcano.
And Azora says that their helicopter arrives the next night. So they have a day and a half, essentially, to get these other two samples.
Yeah.
And this is when we learn that Henry studied under Alan Grant, because they're essentially on like a little walking trip or whatever, hiking through the jungle.
Through the swamp, more like it.
There's a swamp and everything. And it cuts back to the family. And like this is the part of the movie I was talking about. It cuts every 5 minutes. Like you get one thing from this group, come over here to the next group. Then we're going to cut back over here to this group. It gets old.
It does.
And we get... So Bella hates dinosaurs. Isabella hates dinosaurs. Isabella
I don't think she hates them as much as she just...
is terrified of them.
Yeah.
And so Bella meets Dolores.
Dolores is a baby herbivore,
Yes.
but we don't know what kind of dinosaur Dolores
We think
is.
she's a Triceratops adjacent.
I will actually look it up.
But no, this is essentially our baby Yoda
Shut up.
of the film. Tell me I'm
Shut
wrong.
up. You are very much wrong. Dolores has no real significant part other than to be a baby dinosaur.
That's fair. I can't think of another cute little character that sits in a backpack right now.
They don't.
Yeah, that's fair. And then I wrote down, hey, actually starting to like Xavier.
Aquilops, a small, gentle, herbivorous dinosaur that appears in the film Jurassic World Rebirth. Belonging to the Ceratopsian group, a distant cousin of the Triceratops.
Hey.
This tiny dinosaur features frills, a beak-shaped face, and is known for being incredibly sweet and playful. In the movie, she acts as a comforting companion and can even fit into a backpack.
Hey.
There you go.
And it cuts back to Group A, and we see Krebs get a gun.
Oh.
Totally not setting up the villain thing there or whatever
No.
at all. Then it cuts back to the other group,
Back and forth.
and we see Xavier being responsible.
Actually, for once.
He's building a fire and letting Ruben sleep or whatever.
Yeah, because he's been awake for...
At least 24 hours.
Oh, yeah, if not longer.
And Ruben's like, hey, people talk crap about us, it's sure. But, like,
Because...
don't let them make it true.
Yeah, because Xavier was kind of self-conscious about himself.
And she's like, yeah, man, I suck. You're right.
Because he was pretty much talking down to himself on why Teresa is with him.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know. I don't know what she sees in me.
And then Ruben just hits him with some of the most important knowledge ever. And then I found this so funny. Once Ruben stops telling him that, he goes off to take a whiz. Xavier goes off to take a whiz. Meaning, even then, Ruben can't sleep.
Nope. And then Dolores returns again,
Mm-hmm.
and she starts cuddling up with Isabella and stuff. Then it cuts to Xavier peeing.
It sounds weird. Just
It
trust it.
trust the process here. He's essentially like staring at us through the camera while he's peeing. All of a sudden, in the background, we see two raptors
Mm-hmm.
coming up, and like
The first and only time they appear in the movie.
just killed instantaneously by a Mutodon.
Mm-hmm.
So already dropping like, hey, these mutations ain't no joke, bro.
No, they are vicious. And it doesn't even kill the first Velociraptor. Huh?
It kills one, and it takes off with the other one.
No. It attacks the first one while the other one runs away.
And then that one gets taken off.
Yes. And this thing effortlessly lifts up off the ground.
A fully grown raptor.
Yep.
All of this while Xavier's peeing. And he just has an issue with it, obviously. And he just turns around, looks around, and then he just goes back to peeing again.
Which, I mean, understandable.
Like, I'm sure that second stream there had some help with the events that just transpired behind you. Then we cut back to Group A.
Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
To grandmother's house we go. To dinosaur grandma's house we go. Um, then we get the Titanosaurus scene.
Oh my
Caden, I'll let you take this one.
god. So I have a problem with this scene, but other than that, I love it.
You have a problem with everything in this movie.
I have a problem with this movie. But so the crew that we have for A Team,
The tang is killing me.
then stop drinking it.
That was the last of it.
Told you it's not good. But anyway, the group, which is Krebs, Zora, Duncan, Henry, and
Leclerc, another crewmate of Duncan.
which I like his character. He's funny. They're walking through about 5 foot tall grass.
I would say between 5 and 7 foot tall grass. Yeah.
And they're looking for the dinosaurs.
By
All of a
the
sudden-
way, these Titanosauruses. Let me just give you some scale here.
About
I would say probably at least 100 foot tall.
Oh, absolutely. They're massive. So, over the horizon, you see a massive whip-like tail come up over the grass, and it's like, oh, okay. And then the head starts rising up, and it just keeps rising up, and there's a 20-foot tall body for the creature. How are they hiding in that grass?
I ain't got no answer for you.
Because there is no answer. There is no way those creatures should have been hiding in that short of grass.
Yeah.
But moving past that,
It's essentially like the new Brachiosaurus scene.
Yes. It's a very good scene.
It's like the wonder of dinosaurs kind of, situation.
And it helps that this is the first time Henry actually sees one in its natural habitat.
Mm-hmm.
So he's in wonder as well.
It's essentially the same kind of reaction Alan gave when he saw the first Brachiosaurus.
Yeah.
If that clears it up.
And it's a good scene.
It's an amazing scene. They look the dinosaurs themselves are cool.
In every scene they look good.
Mm-hmm. Then it cuts back.
No, we got to get the blood sample.
Oh yeah, they get the blood sample. Sorry.
Which is something else I didn't mention is this scene is also really cool because Henry is starting to see like two Titanosaurus start to cuddle up to each other,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really cool to watch.
And at this point, Henry is trying to convince Zora that they shouldn't give the DNA samples to Parker Jennings.
No,
That they should give it out free to the people so everybody can have a chance at this medicine.
because Parker
Parker,
Jennings would most likely patent it,
and then make it super expensive.
so 99% of people can't afford it.
And Zora's like, that sounds nice and all, but there's no money attached to that side.
Yeah.
So there's that kind of ethical struggle going on in between Zora there. Then we cut back to the family, and this is where we get the raft sequence. Dun dun dun.
And I have a couple problems with this one.
Okay, let me start by saying the tension in this scene, fantastic. This is the most terrifying a T-Rex has been since the first movie.
No, absolutely.
Also, swimming T-Rex. It's a thing.
I'll let you describe this scene, and then I'll chime in with the parts that kind of...
So the family arrives at a dock, and across the river they see an InGen, like inflatable boat or whatever.
Kind of like a storage shed.
Yeah. So Teresa crosses the water, gets the boat and everything, turns around. There's just a giant T-Rex asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody's like, don't inflate it. Just bring it. Just bring the box here. And She doesn't.
But it wasn't her fault.
Now, okay, yeah, that's true. The boat inflates on its own.
Yes.
And so after the boat inflates, the T-Rex is just gone.
Yep, and that's my problem. That's my first problem with the scene. You have probably a 10-foot tall, 10-foot tall raft, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hiding a 20-foot tall T-Rex. Huh? What do you mean?
And then she turns around and they're like, what are you talking about? There's nothing there. So she goes on about her business. And then everybody gets on the boat and they turn around like, oh, hey, there is a T-Rex back there.
Yeah, it had somehow walked away from her for some reason to walk
About maybe
upstream.
Yeah, to get a drink.
Yeah.
And so now it's chasing them. They're going underwater, and the T-Rex is swimming. And there's no really easy way to describe this because it really just happens kind of so fast.
Yeah.
But the boat gets knocked over. Everybody flows in between rocks or whatever where the T-Rex couldn't fit.
Yeah.
Caden, I'll let you take this part because this is your issue.
So, the people that make it through are Xavier, Reuben, sorry, and
Teresa.
Isabel is still underneath the raft.
Somehow.
So, the raft itself, the seats are
It's
upside down.
The
upside
raft
down.
is upside down. Yeah.
And she's underneath it. The T-Rex pushes its jaws into it.
I would say that could almost be a nostalgia point as like a recreation of like how the T-Rex went through the top of the one car.
I wouldn't.
I would say it's supposed to emulate that, but I would say it's not close enough.
Yeah. But you would think, oh, T-Rex is going to bite or the raft is going to tear. No. It just kind of backs off. Then
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. Just when you think the T-Rex is done with the raft, it snatches the raft. Now, remember the orientation of the raft. Seats are down. T-Rex pretty much grabbed the bottom of it. So when it picks it up, the bottom side should be facing the inside of its mouth. No. Somehow, the T-Rex managed to flip the entire raft in its mouth so that the seats are facing its tongue.
Yeah. And then somehow Bella was just still in the water.
Mm-hmm. Don't know how.
But, then he just throws the boat away and chases after him, gets his head stuck, gets his head unstuck. 5 seconds later, the raft just explodes out from underneath the water. Somehow.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's just like, what do you mean?
The lapse in reality there is kind of gray.
Yeah.
Then it cuts back again to A-Team.
Yeah.
Now we're rappelling down a cliff to get to what they called it a pterosaur here, because I think that's like the class of
pterodon, pterosaur.
Nest.
Still, they're going for an F-16 nest.
Yeah. And I wrote down cool camera shot because Henry's afraid of heights. And so we see him backing down to rappel, and the camera just follows his like almost just like follows him over the edge. And I thought that was cool. It was a cool shot. And so, they have some fun. Like there's like the oh my gosh, he's gonna fall, like that kind of the suspense build or whatever.
Right.
And Kincaid finds some stairs. Figures.
No. Was it Kincaid?
Duncan, sorry.
Okay, I was going to say.
I sometimes have him labeled as Duncan or Kincaid in my notes because Zora calls him both. And so as they're rappelling, they find the pterosaur nest in in ruins that are like built inside the cliffs. It's kind of Indiana Jonesy looking.
Yeah, which is really weird.
It is.
Like they don't ever explain it either. It's just kind of there.
Yeah. Um, and so Henry's getting this sample, and he again talks to Zora about giving it away to the world, and she's kind of starting to come around to it at this point.
Which I don't. Me personally, it feels like they're trying to get a relationship going with the two characters.
I can see that. I can definitely see
it,
that.
but it's just
There's no real chemistry there.
no. It doesn't feel right.
And after this is happening, Mama comes home.
Mama ain't happy.
Imagine a F-16 just trying to bite your face off.
Yeah, it's horrifying. Which, this is another minor gripe that I have. But we have technically two sizes for the Hubert bird. One of them's kind of, human size,
Mm-hmm.
fairly average. The other one is capable of eating a person in one bite.
Yeah.
It's very inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow makes it even scarier.
And so at this point, Henry falls because the pterosaur is chasing after Leclerc, and Leclerc has the ropes attached to him,
Mm-hmm.
and so he's starting to climb, and so Henry falls, and he's hanging on a ledge, and the rope is breaking because he's trying to catch the sample.
Which had rolled off and
Mhm.
is just kind of sitting on it. Again, no explanation for this, like, ancient civilization ruin or anything.
No.
It's just there.
And so Zora is holding on to Henry's rope as he's swinging, and he's starting to cut it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we cut to Leclerc. He's eaten.
Unfortunately.
And he was like a real bro for Henry, because like, he threw a hammer at the bird trying to save him. And he was like, nah, we're just going to kill him. And so Henry gets the sample and he shoots it up top, and they catch it up on the cliff, and Henry falls because somehow a brick just breaks loose.
We got to think that's
And the rope break, and
the brick he was holding on to
was part of the civilization thing.
was already loose.
Yeah, it's true. But somehow he falls about a good, 200-300 foot drop at least.
Mm-hmm.
From
If not higher.
From hitting trees and stuff and landing in a shallow pond.
Which absolutely would have killed him.
Yeah.
But, Indiana Jones can do it.
So can anybody else.
Yeah, I guess.
Well,
Well, no, technically, Indiana Jones can skydive off of a crashing plane on a
on a raft.
life raft down a mountain and somehow end up in Africa. A snowy mountain, mind you.
You mean India?
Whatever. I knew I would get it wrong, but...
You just went for it?
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts back to the family, and they're now in the village. And you know what that means, everybody? It's third act time.
We're done with the movie!
Ish. And this is when everybody comes back together. We're all one group now. Thank God. But now everybody is against Krebs because his true colors have been revealed.
Because...
Teresa told everybody what happened.
And this was a minor thing that happened. Excuse me. Sit down. Sit down. But this is a minor thing that happened earlier in the story when Group A was trekking through the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
Zora asked Krebs what happened to the girl, and he's like, "I tried to grab her." And Zora's like, "If I find out that's wrong, I'm killing you."
Yeah.
So
Pretty much nobody's liked this dude since the start of the movie. So
No.
and he's played very much like a
Evil CEO moneybags kind of guy.
yeah, very much your mustache twirling villain.
But at this point, nobody can do anything to him because he's holding them all at gunpoint.
Yep. And now he has like the samples like handcuffed to his hand or whatever. Very villainy. Like, these are going with me. Meh, 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 meh. And so now we get our official Mutadon attack.
And there's only 2 of them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I do want to say, so this town has, and we're by a gas station, sorry. This village has no power during the day.
It is solar powered. Or
So, it's something like that. And so the power comes on at night. This scene is so freaking creepy, dude.
It's so cool, though.
The lights on this gas station come on, and it's playing Stand By Me in like a very
echoey thing like you would hear if you were in a valley or an empty amusement park.
So then you're like, oh my gosh, dude, like there's things that are going to hear this. And so then that's when the Mutadons show up. And yeah, it gets kind of creepy. Okay. We get the family goes into a grocery store in this gas station. They run off that way. Henry and Duncan run off the other way.
Yes.
And Henry and Duncan find the lab.
Yes.
Henry and Duncan find out there is, in the tunnels, there is a boat on the shore.
Yes.
So that is our new main objective. If the helicopter doesn't show up.
Yeah.
So Duncan's headed for the boat just in case. Henry is supposed to find the helicopter and get them.
He's supposed to go to a helipad.
Mm-hmm. And Caden, who do we get to see again for the first time in this movie? Behind Henry.
The second time.
The second time in this movie.
We get to see the D-Rex all the years later.
And this is at least, I think they said, like, what, 10 years later?
It is, give you perspective, the D-Rex that we saw was big enough to grab it in a grown man in one hand and move him freely.
Mm-hmm.
The D-Rex now can do the same thing to a passenger helicopter meant to carry large amounts of people.
Yeah, let's just say this thing's home. Like, the base of this island was the D-Rex cell.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is like a crater size now. But cutting back to the grocery store, this scene tries to emulate the kitchen scene from the first movie.
Right.
I would say it kind of gets it in like the tension and everything with like the kids or whatever. And I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was really good.
And Dolores returns for the final time.
Somehow she ends up finding her way back to Isabella.
And so now everybody's heading into the sewers, trying to escape. And then Krebs, who is now kind of like one-on-oneing Zora right now, they're trying to survive. He drives away.
It tries to.
He does.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's later. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, that's what happens when I have to miss the last 15 minutes.
And this is when Duncan tells everybody to head towards the shore.
Mm-hmm.
And so now the Mutadons are heading into the sewers as well. And Zora sees this. And this is what I was talking about. This is like the Leon S. Kennedy thing. She runs from the jungle, grabs a gun, and just like Black Widow slides into the sewer and like closes the gate shut behind her.
If it works, it works.
actiony stuff that doesn't need to be actiony. And I wrote down here creepy D-Rex because this is when Henry's trying to signal the helicopter, and like there's like a dense fog and stuff, and you just see the D-Rex just moving behind him with
The
like
shadow of it.
a shadow of it, and it's like completely silent.
Somehow.
Creepy, bro. And so now the helicopter sees Henry's flare,
Mhm.
and so they come back, and then a fog just envelops, and then as you see the helicopter light, it's like coming at us, man.
Yeah.
Now
We're saved.
the D-Rex has it in its mouth and its hands.
Yeah.
These bros are on vacation. For real.
This is what I was talking about with the size of it. I would say it's easily 5 times bigger than it was.
Dude, it's about Cloverfield size. A little bit smaller than Cloverfield.
A lot smaller than Cloverfield size. Cloverfield was kicking over entire buildings and tearing apart the Statue of Liberty.
That's true.
This guy's just kind of... I would say he's big enough to take up a regular New York street, but Cloverfield's one of his feet do the same thing.
Yeah, that's true. And now everybody's heading for the boat on the docks or the sewers. They come to a gate and nobody can get through. Bella squeezes through to open up the locks. We got the D-Rex out here with Bella staring down at her. And we have the Mutadons coming up from the back, and he's going to attack everybody in the sewers. She opens the door. Everybody's out, right? Here comes Krebs, man. Driving down the road. He's like, yeah, man, I got this. Screw all you suckers. I'm getting out of here with my samples. Now.
No.
The D-Rex literally punches his car. And this guy flies forward and just hits his head on the wrist of the D-Rex.
Yeah.
First guy in the series to get punched by a dinosaur, everybody.
And somehow it still didn't feel like enough.
No, this guy gets vacationed
Yeah.
into the D-Rex's stomach.
Which, if
everything except the samples in his arm.
Yeah, I was going to say, doesn't his arm get bit off?
So Zora takes his samples, and we get down to the boat, and this thing is like locked up or whatever. Duncan grabs one of Henry's flares and leads it away.
The D-Rex.
Yeah, the D-Rex.
Because aren't the Mutadons stuck in the sewer again?
They're kind of forgotten. They serve their purpose. That's how it's felt, anyways.
Minor antagonist to
Yeah.
the main antagonist.
Main antagonist that only has about 10 minutes of screen time in his own movie.
I mean, that's kind of good build-up if they do it right.
Yeah. Then Duncan is gone. Duncan's dead, man.
Yeah. You end up seeing the
flare go out and whatever. The survivors escape. But wait.
There's more.
A flare shoots up, bro. Dude, Duncan's alive.
The D-Rex learned how to shoot flares.
I wonder if they'll believe this. Hey, I'm over here.
Which... Go ahead. After you're done, I want to talk about that.
That's pretty much it.
So Duncan's alive. They grab him. What happened to the D-Rex?
They escape. I don't know.
Did the D-Rex just not want to kill Duncan or something?
Oh.
Just, hey, you're pretty cool, guy. I'll let you go.
Like, hey, we still need you in a Blade movie, dude.
Shut up with that.
I'm letting you live for now.
Shut up.
But, admittedly, after that movie came out, Marvel Zombies came out, Mahershala Ali finally got to play Blade in voice acting.
And voice acting.
So
And it wasn't even really Blade.
it was Moon Knight Blade.
I think his name was Blade Knight or Moon.
It was something like that.
Moonblade, whatever.
Either way, we got some version of him as Blade. That's all we need for now.
Shut up.
Zora decides to give the samples to the world, and they head off into the sunset, and that is the end of the Jurassic era. Final thoughts, this movie's mid.
I wouldn't even go mid. Personally, I think it's a little below mid.
It's all right.
All right.
Is it a terrible conclusion to the franchise?
Absolutely.
Should it exist?
No. Would it be a lot better if it was two separate movies? Absolutely.
But yeah, so this is the note we get to end the Jurassic franchise on.
But do you have any questions?
Really, all my questions would pertain to, like, how would these two movies go about it being? But, like, there's just nothing that interests me in the face of this movie enough to give a question.
Right.
Like, maybe, like, do you think the family would all survive in their own movie?
Absolutely.
You think so? I think that I would say my best guess would probably be like maybe Xavier sacrificing himself to save him.
See, I
Because
can't
like
see that.
after the campfire scene, he literally does nothing. Literally nothing.
Which, I mean, that's fine.
Because they just have so many characters, they don't know what they're doing with all of them.
Well, Xavier became my favorite character. We
Right.
know he's a good character
Yeah.
at heart. But I don't think the family really needs
Action heroes or whatever.
or a sacrifice at the end.
Yeah. You know they would because they need the bodies. But
Well, if you're thinking about it as two movies in one,
maybe. I don't know.
I do have a question.
Okay.
If you were Dr. Loomis, Henry, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
would you accept to go to Isle Saint Hubert?
Now,
No.
pick any other island, bro. And the island that doesn't have potential mutations on it. I mean, granted, they
didn't know.
Okay. Krebs knew and didn't tell anybody. I would need that kind of information.
Yeah, and it's not. I'd be like, yeah, this ain't a need to know basis. I need to know.
There is no not need to know basis on a mission like this.
Yeah. I need to know what I will be seeing, what I might be seeing,
And what
what's
will
all-
be eating me.
I was going to say what I won't see, but that's better.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Any other questions?
I don't think so.
All right, everybody. We're getting on to our third ever Real Bros ranking.
Yeah.
Third, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, because we
No.
had Zombieland,
Zombieland and...
Indiana Jones.
That's right. That's right.
All right, Caden. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I was thinking we could alternate.
Okay.
Like you say the first number
Okay.
from descending to ascending.
All right. In last place, Jurassic World Rebirth. Come on. Like there's no way this movie can be any higher.
No.
In the state that it's in, not a chance. Like I said, make this a horror movie with the family. This could easily be like a third placer.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, with the state that it's in, yeah, second, last place by far.
Mm-hmm.
In sixth place.
Yep.
Number 6.
For me, my sixth place was Jurassic Park: The Lost World.
What is that?
It just the introduction of a dinosaur to what is it? Lost
San Diego.
San Diego. It was done okay.
I think it was okay for what the time would let it be.
Yeah, it's just compared to what 1 and 3 were,
Mm-hmm.
especially in that trilogy, it feels like an outlier.
Right.
So, but why was 6 sixth?
I would say mostly because of the scale and just like how dense the movie was. Because like it's a 3-hour movie. It took us 6 hours to watch this movie, man. Like not even just from a note taking standpoint. It felt like we needed those 6 hours to digest what that movie was trying to give us.
Right.
Without just being like, hey, I'm turning this movie on. I'm going to go do other stuff while I'm watching this movie. But like, it just felt like it needed all of that time to just process the kind of story that they were trying to tell in this movie and trying to wrap up everything that they've done in this franchise.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. There's a big gap between 6 and 7. But yeah, it's
As you were saying. Don't mention it, just as you were saying.
But yeah, that's my only real problem with it, just how dense and how much is in that movie.
Right.
In 5th place, you're going to hate me for this, Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, I hate you for that. Anyway, for me, 5th place is 5, which is what? Dominion?
The Fallen Kingdom.
Fallen Kingdom. Why is 3 in 5th place for you?
I think because, and like, I do want to emphasize this again, there is a big gap between 6 and 3. I love 3. 3 is a great movie. It is a simple Jurassic adventure. It's a search and rescue mission. It's got Alan Grant. It's got some of the best action. It's got some of the best early 2000s CGI we can get.
Right.
I don't know. It just felt like a weird outlier from the stuff we gotten beforehand, as it were. It's just like almost like it feels like an epilogue for that trilogy, because like, hey, there's no real world building. It's just, hey, let's go back to Isla Sorna, except let's get Alan in here because we haven't seen him since the first movie, and let's just like rescue a kid. It just doesn't like match the kind of stuff that was in the previous films, because like there's definitely like themes, and it definitely shows because the first 2 were books,
Right.
and this one is the first one that is not based off of subject material, and I think that's like a big drop in it for me. Like I said, I don't hate the movie by any standards whatsoever. Jurassic Park 3 is my favorite mission set in Lego Jurassic World.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, that's why it's lower for me. Why is it why is Fallen Kingdom so low for you?
See, Fallen Kingdom, it's just I feel like they did the Indominus on a smaller scale
Mm-hmm.
in a much smaller area.
With the Indoraptor?
Mm-hmm. And it's like, that'd be really cool if they switched 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
Have something more grander and then go to something smaller.
Right.
But it just, having one hybrid after another didn't really feel right to me.
Right. Just kind of cramming it down our throats.
Yeah, and like the location. There's plenty of set scenes where stuff can happen, but at the end of the day, you're not looking at a full island. You're looking at a
mansion.
Yeah. And there's only really so many rooms you can get through in that mansion.
Yeah. In 4th place for me, Fallen Kingdom.
The 6.
Dominion?
Yeah, I couldn't remember the word.
Okay, why is Dominion so high for you?
Dominion is high for me because I like the path that they took for the sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of it just being where they're bred and then let loose, it's a place where they're brought to be safe.
Right.
And I also really like the kind of underlining plot of the locusts.
Mm-hmm.
Just the action felt good. Seeing old characters come back for new roles was really nice.
Right.
Overall, it just, like you said, there's a lot going on though.
Mm-hmm.
So if it wasn't for that, it would probably be placed higher.
Gotcha.
All right. Why is the Lost World,
Fallen Kingdom.
Fallen Kingdom, Lost World, Dominion, Dominicus, D-Rex?
Fallen Kingdom is so high for me because it's the first movie in the franchise that tries to be like really different. And it tries to be a horror movie for the first time in the franchise. I love horror movies, hence the horror podcast that'll be worked on at some point. I think the idea of a monster in a mansion in like a very gothic setting,
Right.
especially for a darker story like this, I think it really works.
Oh, absolutely.
The only drawbacks I would say are the lore corrections
Yeah.
that they throw in there. I mean, like definitely they use it to set up for Dominion, for sure. But I think that would be the only drawback for me. I mean, it's got great action, it's got great kills, it's got amazing practical effects. Some of the best in the series. But yeah, it's just a great overall darker story set in the world, and I liked how that's how they decided to take the franchise after that.
Right.
Jurassic World.
All right.
In next place we have
Top 3, right?
Yep.
What's
The
your third?
Lost World Jurassic Park.
Mine is Jurassic World.
We're switch swapping right now. That's my number 2. The Lost World for me is a fantastic movie. It is amazing. It's Jeff Goldblum being front and center doing Jeff Goldblum things. It's got great action. It definitely heightens what we saw in the first movie. It takes away the barriers. It's a mission. It's a rescue mission. But it's also like we get to see the wonder of these animals in their natural habitat for the first time and see how the ecosystem works for the first time in the franchise. And there's a wonder to that. The characters are incredibly strong. We got Nick Van Owen, we got Eddie Carr, we got Ian and his girlfriend. I forget where her name is, but like yeah, and like Roland, he's a great character. These are all great characters and the great actors, and they did a fantastic job. And this is some of Steven Spielberg's best tension building, and some in like the RV scene. It's amazing tension building. And it's just a great build off of what Jurassic Park set up as like a great adventure thriller. Go ahead.
So, the reason I have Jurassic World in my third place is because it is the start of the technically new franchise.
Yeah, it's the part of the start of the Jurassic World trilogy.
And already it's hitting you hard. You got characters that you don't have too many.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, there's only 4 you really worry about.
And they kickstarted with brand new characters.
Absolutely.
You're instantly drawn into them.
You got Owen, Claire, Gray, and whatever the other Zach. And these characters, they
grow on you.
Yeah, they really work together.
Mm-hmm.
They feel good together. The threat at hand, the Indominus, is something that can be believed because it's the first time this has happened.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first real incident since Well, Jurassic
Park.
World.
Yep.
Or Jurassic Park, my
Mhm.
bad. And just sorry. The animation is really well done.
Mm-hmm.
There's no real like story corrections.
Nope.
It just adds on to it and it feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, it just flows really well with me.
It's a very well built film.
Yes.
In second place, I have Jurassic World.
Second place, I have the Jurassic Park.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is gonna be the biggest upset, I think.
Uh-huh.
Jurassic World is in second place for me because of everything you said. Great characters, great story, great world building, great way of not having to re-say what happened beforehand, and just be like, hey, we just came in, we rebuilt the park. Now we get to see how it would be if the park succeeded.
Right.
It's essentially like the truest sequel to Jurassic Park that we could have gotten if there was a course correction. The tension was there, the action was there. Another great chance for Chris Pratt to show he's got great action leading man qualities.
He's actually a really roundabout actor. As quick tangent, as much as I don't like seeing him in everything, I gotta give him credit.
Because he's good in what he's in.
He's very versatile.
He is.
He's done Parks and Rec.
Mm-hmm.
He's done Star-Lord. He's done Owen, which Star-Lord and Owen are kind of similar.
But Owen's more grounded.
Yes. He's done Emmett from the Lego series.
Mario,
that was another big one. And all of those, yes, they're Chris Pratt, but they still feel like different characters.
Mm-hmm. The only downside about this movie, I would say, is the lack of practical effects. They went along with the fact that we are now in a purely CGI era. And I remember reading about this, one of the previs, like, concept arts was having the Indominus Rex destroy a robotic T-Rex.
Ooh.
As a way of signaling that, hey, practical effects are done. I'm glad they didn't do that.
That would have made me sad.
But, like, that is definitely what they were trying to tell us. I'm glad that they learned their lesson.
Yeah, I was going to say, even though they still come out with practical effects.
All the nostalgia points they got accrued in that movie. Unbelievable. And honestly, it started the requel craze, where we got all of those old classics coming out with new movies. This started that. Realistically, this started that. But yeah, it just had the same feel of Jurassic Park.
Right.
And I loved that. I loved that. Why is the original Jurassic Park in second place for you, my good man?
So, no hate for this movie. I love it. I love the practical effects. I love the characters. It's just, I don't really have anything wrong with it. It's just my number one spot
has been with you the longest.
Mm-hmm. And it's the one that I've grown with. It's the one that I know the best.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that there's anything wrong with
you just been with your number one longer.
Yes.
And honestly, that's another reason why my number one is number one. And it of course is Jurassic Park.
And mine is Jurassic Park 3.
Jurassic Park, and we've explained this for both these movies, why they were in our last season of the show. These movies are our first introductions to the series. They are the first movies that showed us that dinosaurs can be real on screen.
And they can be done very well.
They made dinosaurs scary. They made dinosaurs wondrous. They made dinosaurs adventurous. They captured our imaginations. I'm pretty sure I heard Steven Spielberg say this, but like, we all have that moment with these movies when we have like Alan's reaction. Like our first time seeing a dinosaur. It could be real. It's something so amazing. And like, yeah, I avoided these movies for the longest time because I hated horror. I hated anything that was remotely scary. But like, this movie was like the catalyst for that. This movie was like, hey, monster movies are amazing. Monster movies can be awe-inspiring. They can capture us. They could have amazing characters, amazing stories. And it's one of my favorite movies. And I don't think there's ever a way that any of these other movies are ever going to top it in the franchise. They're never going to capture that Spielberg magic. They're never going to capture that lightning in a bottle that came with the original Jurassic Park. And that is why that is my number one. Caden, take us through your number one.
Well, it's definitely not going to be as emotionally felt as yours was.
Wipe off the Oscar-winning tears over here.
So I should preference by saying this. Even though this movie has been with me the longest, when I first watched it those couple of times, I hated it. Because when I was younger, I only really knew a couple of dinosaurs, and the T-Rex was my favorite. And so just watching that movie and watching the Spinosaurus crack the neck of the T-Rex, I'm like, no, my dinosaur! But this movie got me into the gateway that is Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
That is Jurassic World. It got me into wanting to learn more about the story, the lore, some of the characters. It played a big part in me kind of puffing out my chest and owning up to the scarier movies that I wasn't supposed to watch, but I still did.
Right.
It led into a deeper fascination with dinosaurs, action movies, horror movies. This kind of had it all. And it kind of led me into that road of, oh, these movies also have really cool stories and past. And this movie got me into that. Because people listening, they won't know, but you know for a fact, I'm really good at collecting stories from games, from movies.
You are the lore master of our friend group.
I'm not good at remembering them 100%, but I get a lot of details and I get them in order.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the reason I feel so bad when I start talking during movies, because I'm going into really deep detail on these scenes. I'll let Logan take over. But this movie kind of helped with a lot of things.
Right.
Kind of made me who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I said, it was my first introduction with the Jurassic Park series.
Yeah.
So, definitely not as emotionally felt as yours, but...
Again, wiping away that Oscar-winning tear from my eye.
I'm going to wipe away this Oscar-winning sweat.
Okay. That's because we're working hard in here.
Yeah, right.
Caden, we have bookended a major franchise this season. Honestly, I think one of the longer ones that we have this season, which is a triumph, a true triumph.
Oh, absolutely.
But next week, we're going deeper into film history with another nostalgia-baiting franchise from the 80s. We started it, and to this date, it is our longest episode. Ladies and gentlemen, we are heading back to New York. It is the turn of the century.
And it's time to finally figure out
Who you gonna call Ladies and gentlemen, we're going over Ghostbusters 2 next week. Be here or be square. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Logan Thomas.
I am Caden Green.
And this has been the Real Bros Podcast. See you next week.
Hi, it was nice having you. Goodbye.